Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel, y'all. I am Sha'Nese Lawrence, and I thank you for clicking the button and finding importance in what I have to say. Look, y'all, before I left off, I was doing a my spiritual awakening story, and I have already completed part 1, and I promised you guys to come back with a part 2, and I may possibly have a part 3. I'm not sure, but life, y'all, life. I've been so busy with the children and just working and doing what life does. But I am back to do part 2 as I promised y'all, and I'm outside in my truck. I just got off, so y'all bear with me. Okay, so I left off at doing, when I began to do my 10-day fast. I done a 10-day fast with I call her my online pastor, because that is exactly what she is, Jamila Gooden. And if you do not follow Jamila Gooden, if you have never heard her, y'all go look her up and go follow this woman. When I tell you, she has got me, she has helped get me to where I am today, and I'm really grateful for her. And I thank God that she is obedient and listens to his voice and does exactly what he tells her for his people. But y'all, she called a 10-day fast, and during that 10-day fast, y'all, I agreed to do the fast. And during that fast, God showed me so many things. God had took so many things out of me, y'all. So many things that I was harboring on the inside that I did not know. I had no clue of, y'all. Like I said in part 1, I knew that I was dealing with a narcissist. I knew, but there is something about, I don't know if it was the love bombing phase, or I really don't know if it was me beating myself up at the fact that I had doubled back and got pregnant. I don't know just exactly what it was, but you know, the pain that you endure, you forget about how significant that pain was whenever you are out of it. Whenever you are out of the situation and you are no longer in it, you forget how painful it was. You forget how much pain, just say, and for me, I'm not a person that holds grudges. You know, once I have forgiven you, it is, now I'm not even gonna lie and say that I forgive you and I completely forget, because you know, there's been a lot of times where I have not forgiven a person and just completely forgot. So whenever you have forgiven a person and you have decided to be with that person, or you have decided to push forward past what that person has done to you, a lot of times we forget about the pain and how much how bad it felt. Because whenever you're right there in the thick of it, you and then you're out of it and you're years out of it, and you, like I said, have decided to forgive, you sometimes you do tend to forget just how painful it was. So y'all, while I'm in the middle of this fast, I'm like, oh my goodness, God is showing me everything. He's showing me my life. It's almost like out of body experience. Like I was able to see things for what they really truly were. You know, and during, just before me having that awakening, y'all, I was like constantly beating myself up, constantly falling up under what the enemy wanted me to believe. And y'all, so like I said, I believe it was maybe like day 5. God was like, hey, look at this. I want you to see this. I want you to understand that there is no more doubting. There is no more you trying to figure out if this is where I really want you, or if this is what I really have for your life. Because there was a time where I just a little bit felt like, if this wasn't what was meant for my life, then I would have never turned around and got pregnant, or I would have never, this would have never happened to me. But one thing I had to understand in that situation alone is that God will use God will use what the devil meant for your bad. He will turn it around and use it for your good. So that helped me to realize that, this is not where God called me to be. But even though this is not where he wanted me to be, he is about to turn it around and use it for my good. So the situation that I was in, y'all, I knew that that's not where God wanted me to be. Almost like 5 days into that fast, and I knew God was showing me so many signs. He was showing me so many things, and my eyes was open so clear. It was almost like I had blinders on. And I wonder how many of y'all on today are walking around with blinders on. Walking around with blinders on because there is so many things that have taken place in your life. There is so much that has polluted your way of thinking and your vision and your sense of sight that you are seeing things from a wounded, thank you, Holy Spirit. You are seeing things from a wounded mindset, from a wounded mind frame, period. This is my usual, is what you say. This is what I'm used to. This is how it's always been. This is how it's always gonna be. And God was like, Sha'Nese, look, it's time for you to turn it around. And I'm telling you today, it's time for you to turn that situation around, because God sees so much more in you. There is so much more on the inside of you that God is trying to pull out of you, but he needs your help. He needs for you to come in agreements with him so that y'all can get this thing done together. And you know what? These are the things that I spoke. These are the things that I had to say to myself. And these are the things that I wish that somebody else was able to tell me when I was in the thick of my storm, when I was in the thick of my mess, because I sat on my couch, y'all, and I'll never forget it. And it is a part of my testimony, and it will forever be. I was lost. I didn't understand what was going on. I'm like, God, what is it? Am I depressed? Am I just stressed out from being at home with the baby day in and day out, not working? Like my whole entire life looked completely different. So I was like, okay, God, is this what it is? Like, what is really going on with me? And the whole time God said, this is a part of your plan. This is a part of what I'm using this to catapult you to where you are supposed to be. So y'all, your pain, your misunderstanding of what season you're in right now, why I'm going through this, why I feel like this, understand that it is time for you to get out of that place. It is time for you to wake up. You cannot stay there any longer. You have outgrown that situation. You have outgrown those places. You have outgrown those things. And God said, once you have outgrown these things, I will make it uncomfortable. I will make it uncomfortable for you to stay there. I will make it uncomfortable for you to even lay your head there. You cannot sleep at night, because that is me nudging you, God is saying. That is me nudging you, trying to wake you up, because it is time for you to step into your next level. God said there can be no more waiting around. There can be no more undecisive situations going on in your head. God said it is time for you to make the decision, and make it today. Make it today. Time is we running out of time. We're running out of time. It is time. It is time. It's time to go ahead and step into your purpose now. And y'all, it was almost like on day number 7, or I think it was maybe 8, day number 8, y'all, it was almost like everything was so clear. The brain fog was gone. And y'all, if anybody knows anything about dealing with a narcissist, when you have dealt with a narcissist for so many years and you've dealt with their ways, and sometimes If you're a very empathic person, a lot of times you will, and maybe it doesn't even take for you to be an empathic person. Sometimes you will pick up the traits of a narcissist. You will begin to pick up the traits of a narcissist. You will start to wonder, why am I feeling like this? Why am I thinking like this? Why am I reacting to situations the way that I have been thinking and acting and reacting? That's because you have picked up the traits of a narcissist or that toxic person or whatever the case may be. In a lot of cases, this is what has taken place. I know for me, that's what had taken place for me. And I had to realize that, Sha'Nese, this is not where you're going to be. This is not where you're going to be. This is not where God has called you to be. There is greater on the inside of you. And this situation is so much bigger than just you. This situation is so much bigger than just you. God has placed something, strategically placed something, somebody's breakthrough on the inside of your belly. He has placed somebody's, there is a woman right now or a man right now that is going through the situation that you have been going through, or if that you have already made it out of. And God is saying, I need you for that. I need you to wake up, and I need you to realize who you are in Christ, who you are in God, so that you can get somebody else to the next level, so that you can get somebody else out of the situation that I just pulled you out of. So y'all, once I woke up, because y'all, I was asleep. I was in a deep sleep. I was comatose, as a matter of fact, because I did not understand that, Sha'Nese, you have not been yourself for years. And it's still a process. It's a process daily. And this is what God wants you to know on today. It's going to continue to be a process. People sometimes, and for me, I feel like you have never arrived. You have never arrived. You have not arrived until you walk through those gates. Those golden gates. You have not arrived until God says, well done, my child. So before you arrive, there is always going to be something. There is always going to be a challenge. There is always going to be something that stands in the way of you getting to your next level. There is always going to be a devil that is trying to stop you from doing what God has asked you to do. There is always going to be a hater. There is always going to be a backbiter. There is always going to be somebody that's got something to say about what so-and-so said about you, or who so-and-so called you, or somebody said this about her. There is always gonna be those type of people, and it's always gonna be somebody that's gonna try to slow you down, because that's what they do. They try to slow you down from getting where God is trying to take you. And y'all, for me, I'm telling you, I'm giving y'all this knowledge because I wish I had somebody that was gonna give it to me when I was going through what I was going through. I wish I had somebody to tell me, Sha'Nese, this is what you're going through right now, and it doesn't even matter, because you know what, you're gonna get through it. You're gonna keep your head held high, and yeah, even though it's hard, it may feel like you're not gonna make it out of it, but baby, best believe you gonna see the other side of it, and when you do, you're gonna be stronger. You're gonna be wiser. And you gonna understand that God brought me here for a reason. And everything that happened to me in my last season, I needed it. I needed it to thrive in this season. God took me through that situation. And now I understand why. Because I needed this to get to this place. And y'all, I feel like God has taken me on a whole nother spin around, because y'all, the title of this video will be part 2 of my spiritual awakening. But y'all, I'm telling you, in the midst of me, not feeling like myself, and not wanting to get up and comb my hair, not wanting to get up and put on any clothes, not wanting to make up my bed, just wanting to just forgetting who Sha'Nese is when I realized that this is my spiritual awakening. It's time for me to wake up. It's time for me to wake up, and it's time for me to realize that, like I said, this is not who I am. This is not who you are. Your mistakes is not who you are. What that toxic relationship done to you, that is not who you are. What somebody said about you, what they done to you, that's not who you are. How those lies that the enemy has told you, that's not who you are. You are who God says you are, and you will start to become who you need to become when you start to speak these affirmations over yourself daily. When you start to say your I ams. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender and not a borrower. I am blessed. I am chosen. I am chosen for good. I am chosen by God. And just like Stormy will say, I defy the odds. I set new standards. Everything I need is within arm's reach. Everything I need is within arm's reach. I defy the odds. I set new standards. I am a champion. You are a champion. You are a champion. You are a champion. And you will win. You will win. It doesn't matter what it looks like right now. It don't matter what your situation is right now. Because just because it might look like that today, it might look like this on today. But once you start putting one foot in front of the other, once you start to realize that that is not who you are. Your mistake is not who you are. Who the devil said you was is not who you are. Because now you getting up every day, you speaking your daily affirmations. You are seeing yourself in a new light. I don't care how it looks. I don't care how it looks. Start to love yourself a little bit better. And once you love yourself, start loving on yourself. Get up. Do your hair real pretty. It don't matter if you don't have a whole lot of money to get your hair done. Just do something. Do something. Take that bonnet off. Do something. And it don't matter if you ain't got nowhere to go. You can still get up, dress up, put you some clothes on. Because even though you feel like nobody else is going to see you, God sees you. God sees you, and he wants to know, if you can't be faithful over a few, how can I make you ruler over many? If you can't be faithful over getting up, doing your hair, putting your clothes on, making up your bed, setting yourself a routine, how can I give you the desires of your heart? Because a lot of y'all, we got some pretty nice desires, but God is like, how am I supposed to put you in this suit and this tie, and I can't even get you to get up and go get you a haircut? I can't even get you to get up, go get you a little crispy line up. How am I gonna put you in that two-piece suit and that duffel bag with them red bottom heels if I can't even get you to get up and do a little something to your hair, set you a routine, make your bed, get you some spray yourself, smell good. I can't even get you to do that. God is saying, how are we going to get you to this level when we haven't even mastered this one down here? So God is saying to you on today, master this level. Do what it takes on this level so that I can slowly each day, and before you know it, you're going to look back and you're going to realize that you closer than you done ever been before. You doing stuff that you ain't never done before. You loving on yourself. You doing what's best for you. You done let that toxicity go. Because y'all, like I said, now we in part 2 of my spiritual awakening. But I pray that this message is helping you on today to understand that if God was able to wake me up out of my mess, wake me up out of the way that I was feeling, because y'all, I had done beat myself completely down. I had beat myself completely down because I felt like I had let God down. I felt like I had let myself down. I felt like, you know what, Sha'Nese, you should have been so much further in life right now. If you hadn't have doubled back and done what you done, you wouldn't even be here on today. You would have been further. And you see, these are the lies that the enemy will tell you. These are the lies that the enemy will tell you. He will make you feel like you are so behind in life. That these are, such and such doing so good. Such and such doing so much better than you. Y'all the same age. Or better yet, excuse me, y'all. You a little bit older than she is. And she doing so much better than you. I mean, these are the lies that the enemy puts in our heads. And you know what? Before you know it, that thought is a seed. And once you continue to water it and feed it and water it and feed it, this thing becomes a stronghold in your mind. And now this is the way that you see yourself. These are the words that you are speaking over yourself when you are so much better than that. You are better than that. So what? You made that mistake. So what? You doubled back and you did some things that you wasn't supposed to do. So what? So what? On today, look yourself in the mirror. Have that effort party that I talked about in part 1. And look, y'all, if you have not seen part 1, I advise you to go back and look at part 1. Have that effort party that I was telling you about in part 1. Look yourself directly in the mirror and say, so what? So what? So what that I made a mistake? Today is the day that I start to do better. So what if I done some stuff that I'm not proud of? Today is the day that I'm going to make it better. Today is the day that I put one foot forward. And you know what? If a setback happens, do not sit in that mess. If a setback happens, do not sit and waddle in that mess. Because you know what? God says it's the small foxes that spoil the vine. And I'm going to say that again. It is the small foxes that spoil the vine. It's the small foxes. And when I say that, y'all, it fits perfectly in with what I'm saying. Do not sit and waddle in that mess. Don't sit and waddle in what the enemy is saying to you. Because before you know it, it is a seed and you're watering it and you're feeding it and it's getting bigger. And that's that small fox that is spoiling the vine. Y'all, I'm not going to keep y'all long. I hope and pray that part 2 of my spiritual awakening has helped somebody on today. Because you know what? These are the things that I wish somebody would have told me in the midst of me going through what I was going through. That this is only a season. And this season is what you make it. This season is going to define how you handle next season. So just because you feel defeated on today, you do not have to feel defeated on tomorrow. Get up, dust yourself off, look yourself in the mirror, and have that effort party and say, so what? So what? I done that yesterday. Today is a new day. Look, y'all, I love y'all. And I hope and pray that this blesses someone on today. I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.